The conservative influencer world, once a seemingly unstoppable force that could steer elections and dominate the national conversation, is now eating itself alive. What happens when the biggest names on the right turn on each other in a public death spiral of accusations, conspiracies, and pure animosity? This isn't just an online drama, it's starting to look a lot like a civil war. In this video, we're going to break down how the spectacular public feuds between figures like Candace Owens and media giants like the Daily Wire and TPUSA aren't just isolated fights, but symptoms of a much larger, potentially catastrophic failure of the whole ecosystem. For years, Candace Owens and Daily Wire co-founded by Ben Shapiro looked like a perfect partnership. Owens had a huge following and reputation as a fierce culture warrior, having been TPUSA's communication director. The Daily Wire gave her a massive platform, and she quickly became one of their biggest stars. But under the surface, tensions were building. Everything changed after the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. As Shapiro became one of the most vocal defenders of Israel's military response, Owens grew more and more critical of it, a stance that put her in direct conflict with her employer. The disagreement blew up in November 2023 when Shapiro was filmed calling Owens' commentary disgraceful and ridiculous. Listen to this video.
Ben Shapiro threw the first punch at Candace Owens that has led to a public brawl. Shapiro, who is the co-founder of the Daily Wire, called Owens, who hosts a show at the outlet, absolutely disgraceful for her commentary on Israel. The comment was made in a video that circulated online this week.
Yes, the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt, I think it's not.
Owens responded with a cryptic tweet citing scripture, which included one eyebrow-raising line, "You cannot serve both God and money." Shapiro fired back in his own tweet on Wednesday night, telling Candace to quit if she feels her work at the Daily Wire comes between her and God. The feud escalated from there as Owens quickly shot back and told Shapiro, "You've been acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for weeks now."
The conflict became untenable, and on March 22nd, 2024, the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, announced that the company and Candace Owens had ended their relationship. Owens' response was short and sharp. "The rumors are true. I'm finally free." Being free didn't lead to peace. It marked the beginning of new battles on new fronts. Soon after Owens' departure, the conflict widened when another conservative heavyweight, Tucker Carlson, began publicly targeting figures like Ben Shapiro and the talk radio host Mark Levin. This feud quickly escalated into charges of anti-Semitism. In response to Carlson's constant attacks on Israel and his attempts to whitewash Hitler's role in World War II, both Shapiro and Levin accused him of spreading dangerous anti-Semitic ideas. This has fueled concerns that anti-Semitism is spreading on the right, with many seeing Carlson's rhetoric as a major cause. Carlson, for his part, has brushed off these accusations, calling Levin an obvious lunatic and claiming Shapiro would not be a factor in 5 years. Meanwhile, Owens turned on her old friends at Turning Point USA. After the assassination of TPUSA founder Charlie Kirk in September, Owens, who once described their relationship as being like brother and sister, launched a series of shocking attacks. She pushed unfounded conspiracy theories about his murder, suggested that the organization's leadership and even Israel may have been involved. The conflict became an incredibly toxic and personal feud. Candace daily has been attacking TPUSA, and finally they had enough and took the incredible step no organization ever wants to do, and issued a YouTube rebuttal that point by point took down all of Candace's claims. But even that didn't stop her. Candace then escalated the feud between Owens and Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, who took over as CEO of TPUSA. In a live interview on Fox, when Erica was asked whether she wanted to say what she wanted to say to those pushing claims, her response was just one word: stop. Going on to make the point how Candace is making hundreds of thousands of dollars per every episode that she's attacking Erica and TPUSA. Owens then fired back on social media, comparing Erica Kirk's defense of her grieving organization to the emotional strategy deployed by BLM and accusing TPUSA of trying to silence her. The explosive exits and public feuds are the most visible signs of a deeper problem. The conservative movement is showing deep fractures under the weight of its own internal fights. What's once seemed like a unified front is breaking down into a collection of warring digital tribes. This toxicity is a feature, not a bug, for figures like Candace and Tucker, who have long histories of changing positions and lying about people and events. Their actions play a significant role in making public life in America more toxic for everyone. The influencer model they thrive in rewards outrage and personal brands over party unity, creating an environment where the online spats drive more clicks than real debate. Unfortunately for the Republican Party, these influencers often have more power than the actual Republican politicians. So when cracks like the ones we're witnessing today appear, they matter. This kind of internal strife makes it nearly impossible for the party to send a clear message and risks turning off moderate voters who are sick of the constant spectacle. At its heart, the problem seems to be that the conservative movement has become less about shared set of ideas and more about loyalty to certain media figures. When those figures inevitably clash, their followers feel forced to pick sides, and the whole movement splinters. If you're finding this breakdown of the chaos in the conservative media valuable, do us a favor and please subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. We're committed to unpacking these complex power dynamics, and your support is what allows us to keep going. Thank you. So what does all this mean? It suggests that we could be in the early stages of a great conservative collapse. We're watching the public meltdown of a media machine that has arguably lost its way. The constant infighting, which is not just limited to just the podcasters mentioned, but a much wider group of podcasters, is a symptom of a movement that seems to know what it's against, but not what it's for. The consequences could be huge. First, it damages credibility of the entire conservative project. The right has always prided itself on discipline, often making fun of the left for its internal squabbles. That image is shattered when its biggest stars are on social media calling each other disgraceful and unhinged. Second, it hurts the movement's political power. A party busy with internal wars cannot campaign or govern effectively. Time and money that should be spent winning elections are being burned on settling personal scores. Voters who might otherwise be open to conservative ideas are being driven away by the nonstop drama and toxicity. Third, it exposes the weakness at the core of the influencer model. This ecosystem was built for conflict, not for governing. It runs on outrage, not on solutions. The Owens-Shapiro split is a perfect example. A serious disagreement devolved almost instantly into accusations of bigotry and betrayal, because that's what social media algorithm rewards. There is no space for nuanced discussion, only for scorched earth attacks. What's left is not a unified political movement, but a bunch of media entrepreneurs battling for market share in the outrage economy. The spectacular flameout between Candace Owens and TPUSA and the battles waged by both her and Tucker against other conservatives is more than just a media feud. It's a signal that the conservative media machine, once a powerful and united force, is breaking down under the weight of its own toxicity. The very personalities it built up have become too focused on their own brands to maintain any kind of unity. They are a mirror reflecting a broader movement that is losing its ideological footing and drifting into a sea of conspiracy, personal grudges, and endless, self-defeating warfare. This collapse isn't some future prediction. It seems to be happening right now, live on our social media feeds. The house that was once built on owning the libs is now being torn down from the inside. And the biggest question isn't about who will win these individual fights, but what, if anything, will be left standing when the smoke clears. Is this the end of the conservative movement as we've known it, or is it just a painful cleansing fire before something new is born? What's your take? Is this infighting a sign of terminal decline or just growing pains for the American right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this analysis useful, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.